Hello everyone, or at least the one dude who's probably going to watch this. So today I'm just going to be talking about why I, as a former competitive shooter addict, moved to single player shooters and boomer shooters like Doom Eternal, Turbo Overkill, Cultic, so on and so forth. So just to give some brief gaming history, as in my gaming history. So I would say I got into competitive shooters around the age of I think 13. Back then I was in secondary school. TF2 was all the rage. It was all anybody ever played. Um, and I would say I really got into it. I was a spy main. I was into all the great spy masters like Stabby Stabby, who I'm pretty sure is still uploading today. TF2 Sluggy, and who else? There's a few other names I remember. Tobias Funky, how I pronounce that guy's name. Those people, and I was the kind of the guy who would download all the different scripts uh, that you need to, do things like zoom into your ambassador, to move your view model, so on and so forth. Oh yeah, of course, the trick steps, the trick steps. You can't forget all the trick step montages back then. This obsession lasted about the better part of like 5 or 6 years. And honestly, I don't regret a bit of it. TF2 still occupies a special place in my heart that no other game has really. Uh, are you serious? That no other game has really ever truly changed. Has ever taken its place. There you are. And then after that, I moved on to Counter Strike. This was about 2016. Yeah, 2016. When TF2 had gotten its crates and whatnot and weapon skins. I'm not even sure why. I hated that, and all my friends were getting into this well, not exactly new shooter, but this shooter that everyone seemed to be getting into, what with the esports scene and whatnot. And that, I would say I got pretty good at the game as well. I learned about all the different peaking techniques, how to 1D, how to do strats, well, basic strats for the most part. Um, and different map strategies. And I think my highest rank was actually um, Supreme Master First Class. Yeah, I was pretty decent at the game, and then that lasted 4 years. Yeah, 4 years. And then after that, when I completed, no, when I went into my country's national service, 2019, and then in 2020, then I moved on to Valorant. So that was, yeah, this was during the COVID pandemic. Oh yeah, don't forget PUBG, both of those. Yeah, so, and over there I also did pretty decently. I was immortal. I remember that was my highest rank, but I quit. That really only lasted like what, 1 year, or even like at the most 2 years. I just wasn't into the whole agent, like thingy. My favorite class was Cypher, by the way. He's still awesome, I think. But I was into all the changing rosters all the time. Like, how does one even balance a game like a competitive FPS like that? Like with all these different abilities and whatnot. I just wasn't into it, and I quit. I don't know, after I can't remember who it was, but it got ridiculous. Anyways, but that really, but that's kind of a rough segue into why I quit competitive games. Um, sorry, competitive shooters. So I would say the first one essentially is a time investment. You need a lot of time to get good at these games.
Special targets.
Like, I think if you see Counter-Strike, for example, you need at least a couple thousand hours till you truly understand it. Like, how timing works and whatnot. And don't forget about the ranks. If you care about ranks, then often those who are at the top really, really do care about those things. You need to be playing every day. You need to be watching videos about it every day. You need to be thinking every single time you play the game. What, as in, you're always constantly strategizing. It's a never-ending arms race essentially. And what that does is it essentially colonizes every bit of essentially your free time. If you are into that, if you are truly, truly dedicated to that, maybe this sounds great. But if you're someone who can't afford the time investment, like say you have to care for aging parents, you need to work on maintaining your grades and relationships. It's a pretty hard sell. I'm not sure the ones I remember who were being as good as me that I knew in real life. Like I knew this one dude. We were talking during a break from training activities during my national service, and he revealed to me that he played like every single day. He had like over 9,000 hours. He was an aspiring pro gamer, and like yeah, he was an aspiring pro gamer, and he was still nowhere near what I would call like recognizable in the local scene, the local esports scene. I have no idea what happened to him, but that's the sort of time investment you need to do to be good at, to be excellent at these games. And if you're not going to go pro, if you're not going to go pro, it's already a heavy time investment. If you're going to go pro, success honestly comes down to luck, chance, and a whole lot of no, let's say luck and a whole lot of hard work. And even then, success is not guaranteed. So yeah, I like it. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. Second, the friends, like, okay, so I would think that honestly, most of the experiences can be quite toxic. I think anyone who's ever played Counter-Strike will know the sort of dude who often demands that you follow his orders. If you don't, well, you're the reason you're losing this game, so on and so forth. But not just that really. As I'm not talking about the online aspect, but like the sort of friends that I made in Counter-Strike, for example, in school. They were this only type who only ever cared about victory. Like this was not an attitude that I saw. This was not an attitude that I saw back when I played TF2. Like, in TF2, it's rightly like I think it has the sorry, it has the well-earned reputation being a game where it's honestly kind of fun. You fuck around. You can be friendly. You can just spend the entire game spy crabbing. No one gives you shit. But in games like, let's say PUBG, Valorant, unless you're trolling or Smurf, you often do that. You don't often do that. And most of the friends that I made, they were really, really, really into winning all the time. And we flame each other I mean, they would flame each other. I really didn't care either way. I just wanted to have fun. But they would flame each other, and they would flame their teammates for any losses that happened during the games. You can probably imagine how draining that is. Like, games are supposed to be fun. They're supposed to be a way to escape from the rigors of this world and all the annoying rules that come with daily life. They're not supposed to be they're not supposed to be your workplace.
Unleash the hordes of hell.
So the entire ethos, or however you want to pronounce it, of competitive games just doesn't appeal to me. Third, I think, is just there's more room for experimentation. In the Counter-Strike, there is a meta. Yeah, like there is a meta, right? You know, you have your pistol rounds, and then you have your eco rounds, and then you have, you know, you buy either rifle or the whatchamacallit it? The AWP, yeah. You buy either of those for the rest of the game essentially, unless you're ecoing. There's honestly not much room for you to like play around with different weapons in the matchmaking system. Is that fun? I don't think so. Like if you buy a Nagav, just buy a Nagav at the upper ranks, and you get flamed. You'll just get flamed. I've seen it. Like there's no room for creativity for playing with different ways of playing the game.
You can keep this up forever.
Valorant's pretty much copied like the meta of Counter-Strike plus. Let me get this pain elemental first. Yeah, pretty much copied the eco, like sorry, the system of Counter-Strike. So honestly, like with the exception of abilities, but there's always the same ways of using them. So you know, about the same thing. And what is with the agents that pretty much like give you instant information across the map? I don't know. But either way, not much room for playing around with things. Whereas, let's say Turbo Overkill, or basically single player shooters in general, you can use whatever weapon you want. Sure, you're fighting bots, but bots don't complain. But you decide, hey, I want to play around with micro missile. Are you serious? Just die already. You want to play the micro missile, you want to play an auto shotty, maybe a complete battle mode. But you know what? I hold my own. At least I have held my own in Slave vs. Slayer with the micro missile alone. So whatever. So, and you know, you don't even have to quick swap in Doom Eternal, for example. You can play it perfectly fine with a quick swap, and a lot of people completed the game without it. Essentially, you know, more freedom of expression. Like that's what games are supposed to be about, right? Freedom of expression and having fun, experimenting. All things that I think have been lost in the competitive arena. What else is there? I was gonna think of one more point, but I'm not quite sure what it is yet. Oh yeah, I think the last thing is just modability. Like look at this, like infinite arena mode. Okay, like TFT used to have this, I think. You know, all your random player skins and whatnot. And now your custom maps, except after they introduced Media Match for a reason. I hated that update, and I think it's the reason why TF2 died. Thank you, Valve, for that. But it's like there's so many ways to keep the game going after it, aside from just playing same matches, same things over and over. Like for let's say Counter Strike, what? It's always a set roster of maps. Mirage, Dust 2. Of course, I knew a friend who would literally only play Dust 2. Only play Dust 2. I'm not even sure. How is that fun? Anyways, and you're always picking the same few angles, the same few engagements. Really, the only difference is that the timing in which this, well, not even the timing. I think these engagements often occur around the same time. You're always playing the same way. I guess this sounds contradictory what I said earlier about you need to strategize, but it's really like learning a set amount of moves, to carry carry out a particular attack, or to counter an opponent's stratagem. But it's always the same few angles, the same few things. Whereas over here, you can have engagements literally anywhere in the map. You don't have to stick to one tried way of like engaging. You have freedom of movement pretty much everywhere. Like in TF2, where literally if you have a very good sniper on the other team, that's really all you need to like shut down the map for everyone else. Yeah, I always say the snipers, even though I played sniper, because I think he's overpowered, but you have so much more freedom to move. And you have lots of different mobility options, I suppose, in often boomer shooters. I don't. Oh, okay, well, maybe only the new ones like Turbo Overkill and Cultic, kick jumping or whatever you call it. It's always hilarious to me, but it's refreshing. It's refreshing. I love my movement. I love, like, let's say for example, Severed Steel. I don't think that's a boom shooter, but it's about the same. I don't know what to call it, ethos, but it's a single player shooter. Anyways, but like Echo Void Nova, you can go literally anywhere you want without getting one-shotted, or inter-sniped by enemy or whatever. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. And I think that's really why I never really truly stuck. Like, I never truly stuck with Counter-Strike. Like, I never truly had that love for it, I guess. I think that's pretty much it, actually. But I gotta finish this round, so give me a while. And okay, in that case, then I guess there's much to be said about like the positives of like boomer shooters. One, you save a lot of time. You don't have a meta to learn. You pick up and play. This is a godsend if you are a student in an especially intensive course. And you have so many other assignments to do, and then you have to balance having your obligations on top of that. You don't have to play. You don't need to. Your enjoyment of the game is not contingent on whether or not you win or lose. It's just you can pick up and play, get your dose, and then move on. Second of all, you have all this. You have so many different worlds, I guess, like to move through. I'm not sure how to word that exactly, but it's like you have all this. You can get into the lore if you are into the lore stuff. As especially for like Turbo Overkill, for example. I thought the law was kind of interesting, even though it's the dialogue was meh, I guess. Um, Maybe I'll flesh it out in a separate video, but yeah. But those are the first 2 points I can think of. I'll think of the rest when I get to them. But yeah, that's why I think boomer shooters are awesome, and why I move to them. I might uh, I might expound on this at length somewhere else, but this is a starting point for now. Thank you guys for listening, and hope to see you around.